I shouldn't even be telling you this, but then again, if I don't, it'll eat me alive. My name doesn't matter. I'll stay anonymous, because this is my sin, my secret, my nightmare wrapped in silk sheets of pleasure. The first time I saw him was like a movie I wasn't supposed to watch. Late evening, downtown Chicago, rain sliding across cafe windows like tears. My husband had canceled dinner again, like he always did. Too tired, he said. Too busy, he added. And so, I sat there alone, stirring cold coffee, wondering if loneliness could drown a woman while she was still breathing. That's when he walked in. Tall. Dark hair that looked like it never obeyed a comb. A smile sharp enough to slice through the silence of the cafe. And when his eyes caught mine, something inside me flickered, a spark I hadn't felt in years. He didn't hesitate. He walked straight over, bold as if the universe had sent him. Is this seat taken? His voice was low, husky, the kind that made words sound heavier than they were. I should have said no. I should have smiled politely and left. But instead, I felt my lips part, and I heard myself whisper, "No, it isn't." He sat down. Close. Too close. His cologne floated between us, masculine and dangerous, like an invitation I wasn't ready to accept, but desperately wanted to. We talked. Or maybe I pretended to. I don't even remember half the words, only the way his hand brushed against mine when he reached for his glass. The way my heart skipped. The way I leaned in just enough to breathe him in. By the time he asked, "Do you come here often?" I was already drowning in the lie I hadn't even told yet. Because deep down, I knew. This wasn't just conversation. This was temptation, stretching its hand out to me. And I took it. Movie camera. Before I go deeper into what happened next, let me remind you. If you're caught in this story, if you feel the heat building like I did that night, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. Because what I'm about to confess will make you question love, lust, and loyalty. That night, I didn't go home right away. Neither did he. The rain had slowed to a drizzle, and he offered to walk me to my car. My heels clicked against the wet pavement, his hand brushing mine every few steps, like a test I was too weak to fail. When we got to my car, I should have opened the door, started the engine, and left. But instead, I leaned against it, staring at him. The silence between us thickened until it was impossible not to break. He stepped closer. One step. Then another. His fingers grazed my cheek, gentle but electric. "Tell me to stop," he whispered. And God help me, I didn't. His lips found mine, soft at first, then hungry. I gasped into his mouth, every nerve in my body catching fire. My back pressed against the cold metal of my car as his kiss grew deeper, wetter, the kind that made the world spin and left me trembling. I wanted to tell myself it was harmless. Just a kiss. Just one mistake. But when his hands slid to my waist, gripping me like I was already his, I knew this wasn't going to end with a kiss. This was the beginning of something dangerous. Something addictive. Something that would ruin me. And that was the spark of temptation. The first match that lit the fire I couldn't put out. Fire, stay with me, because in chapter 2, you'll see how one kiss turned into nights I couldn't resist, and lies I couldn't stop telling. But before we dive into that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to follow my secret down this dangerous path. The kiss haunted me. I woke up the next morning beside my husband, his soft snores filling the room, and all I could taste was him, the stranger from the cafe, the man whose lips had stolen my breath and my resolve. I stared at my husband's back, the rise and fall of his shoulders. He had no idea. How could he? I hadn't done everything yet, but in my heart, I knew the line had already been crossed. When my phone buzzed around mid-morning, I didn't expect it. I didn't even remember giving him my number. But there it was. Unknown number, couldn't stop thinking about your lips. My pulse raced. I should have deleted the message. Blocked him. pretended last night was nothing but a mistake fueled by loneliness. But my fingers betrayed me. Neither could I. And just like that, I was caught. The days that followed felt like living two lives. In the daylight, I was the wife, smiling, cooking, keeping up appearances, pretending my marriage was still whole. But at night, my phone became a portal to danger. His texts, his words, his voice messages, they devoured me. "Meet me again," he said. "I need to taste you properly." I told myself no 1,000 times. But the 1,001st? It came out as yes. The second meeting was at a hotel just off Michigan Avenue. I still remember how the lobby smelled of polished wood and expensive perfume. I shouldn't have been there. Every step toward that elevator felt like I was burying myself deeper in a lie. When the doors slid open, there he was, leaning against the wall, hands in his pockets, that same dangerous smile curving his lips. "Thought you'd change your mind," he said. "I almost did. But you didn't." His eyes scanned me, and I felt naked even in my dress. "And that means you wanted this." I swallowed hard, but I didn't argue. Because he was right. He didn't waste another word. His hand caught mine, pulling me into the room. And the moment the door clicked shut, his mouth was on mine. No hesitation, no pause. His kiss was rougher this time, urgent, as if he'd been starving and I was the only meal. I moaned into his mouth, my hands clutching his shirt, the buttons slipping open under my trembling fingers. His lips trailed down my neck, sucking hard enough to leave marks I'd have to hide later. "God, you taste like sin," he groaned, his breath hot against my skin. And I let him. I let him explore every inch of me, let his hands travel places I hadn't allowed anyone but my husband to touch. But unlike my husband, he was relentless. He devoured, consumed, leaving me breathless, trembling, aching for more. I should have felt guilty. And maybe, deep down, I did. But stronger than guilt was the high, the intoxicating rush of being wanted this way. Desired like I was fire itself, like he couldn't stop or he'd burn alive. I became addicted. To his touch. To his hunger. To the way he made me feel alive again. That night, when it was all over and I slipped back into my dress, I caught my reflection in the mirror. My lipstick was smeared, my hair a mess, my body marked with proof of betrayal. I should have cried. Instead, I smiled. Movie camera before I confess how quickly this became a pattern I couldn't break. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this story if you're following me down this dangerous path. Your support keeps me brave enough to spill my secrets. It wasn't just one night. It became 2. Then 3. It became stolen afternoons in his car. Late night texts under the covers while my husband slept inches away. Lies about errands. Excuses about traffic. And every single time, his touch grew hungrier, his kisses deeper, his need more desperate. And I matched it. Because every time he touched me, I felt like a woman again, not just a wife lost in routine. But little did I know, this fire I had fed so greedily would soon start burning everything I thought I could control. That was the lie I couldn't stop telling. And soon, I'd learn that lies always come with a price. I used to think I was strong. The kind of woman who could never be swayed, never fall into the trap of cheating. I told myself I had morals, boundaries, respect for the vows I once made with a trembling voice and teary eyes. But those vows, they felt so far away now. Because at night, I was someone else entirely. It started with small lies. "Oh honey, I'm staying late at work. Traffic was hell tonight." "Yeah, I already had lunch, I'll just grab something light." Each lie rolled off my tongue smoother than the last. And each lie bought me more time in his arms. The hotel had become our kingdom. Room 704, our throne. By the third time we met there, I no longer walked in nervously. I walked in ready. He'd be waiting, leaning against the desk, his shirt already half undone, his eyes burning with that same insatiable hunger. "Lock the door," he'd whisper, his voice heavy with lust. And I always did. That night, he didn't waste time. The second the door shut, he pushed me back against the wall, his hands roaming my body like he owned it. His lips crashed onto mine, hot, demanding, stealing my breath. I gasped into his mouth, clutching at his hair, my body arching into his. "You're insatiable," I whispered. "No," he said, pressing his lips to my neck. "I'm addicted." His words sent a shiver down my spine. Addicted. To me. The thought burned through my guilt, replacing it with something wickedly satisfying. By the time his mouth trailed lower, tasting every secret curve, I had forgotten my husband's face, forgotten my vows, forgotten who I was supposed to be. In those moments, I was alive, trembling, consumed. He kissed me until my lips were swollen. He touched me until I ached. He devoured me until I could barely breathe. And every single time, when it was over, I told myself it was the last. The last kiss. The last touch. The last lie. But it never was. Loudspeaker, if you're still with me in this dangerous memory, don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who dares to peek into the secret world of forbidden passion. It keeps me brave enough to tell you the things most women would take to their graves. The double life wasn't just passion, it was pressure. I'd come home late with flushed cheeks, my body sore from his touch, praying my husband wouldn't notice. I'd shower longer, scrubbing away the scent of another man's cologne. Sometimes I'd lie awake, terrified he'd roll over, pull me close, and smell betrayal on my skin. But he never did. My husband trusted me completely. And maybe that trust was the biggest knife twisting in my chest. Still, the thrill outweighed the fear. Every time my phone buzzed with his name, I felt alive. Every time his hand slid up my thigh under the table at dinner, I felt wanted. Every time he whispered, "No one will ever love you like I do," I believed him, just for a moment. But love? This wasn't love. This was fire. And fire only knows. He wasn't asking anymore. He was demanding. "Leave him," he said again, his fingers gripping my wrist just a little too tight, his eyes searching mine like he could pull the truth out of me. I swallowed hard, forcing a shaky laugh. "You know I can't. It's not that simple." His jaw clenched, his thumb stroking circles against my skin. "It's always simple. If you wanted me the way I want you, you'd already be gone." Those words cut deeper than I admitted. Because in that moment, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just an affair anymore. It was a cage, and I was locked inside. The weeks that followed were suffocating. He texted me constantly. "Where are you? Who are you with? Why aren't you answering?" At first, it was flattering. That kind of attention, that hunger, most women dream of it. But dreams can turn into nightmares when love morphs into possession. I'd sit at dinner with my husband, smiling, nodding, pretending, while my phone buzzed in my lap. "Don't ignore me. I know you see this." I'd slip into the bathroom just to reply. "I'm with him. I'll call later." But even that wasn't enough. One night, after I told him I couldn't meet, he showed up outside my house. Yes. My house. I nearly dropped the glass of wine in my hand when I saw his car parked across the street. My husband was in the living room, watching TV, blissfully unaware. My pulse thundered in my ears as I stepped outside, heart hammering. "What the hell are you doing here?" I hissed, pulling my robe tighter. He leaned against his car, smirking. "I missed you. Couldn't stay away. Are you insane?" "He's inside." "Then come with me," he said smoothly, brushing his hand against mine. "Right now. Leave it all behind." My breath caught. His touch still lit me on fire, even when I wanted to scream. That's the cruel part of desire. It doesn't vanish just because you know it's dangerous. I pulled away, glancing at my front door. You have to go. Please. If he sees you. But he didn't move. His eyes burned into mine, dark and unyielding. One day, you won't send me away. You'll come willingly. Then he drove off, leaving me trembling in the night air, my robe clinging to me like guilt. Loudspeaker, if you're still here, listening to this twisted confession, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. Every click keeps me brave enough to peel back another layer of this secret life, one lie at a time. After that night, I knew I had lost control. What started as lust was now dangerous. What started as fun was now terrifying. He was everywhere. If I was late leaving work, he was waiting by my car. If I didn't answer his calls, he left voicemails that made my blood run cold. I know you love me, you just won't admit it. You belong to me. Not him. Don't make me prove how serious I am. Every message was a knife pressed a little deeper. And the worst part? I still wanted him. Even as fear crept into my bones, even as his obsession tightened around me, I still longed for his lips, his touch, his heat. That's the poison of infidelity. It mixes pleasure with pain until you can't tell the difference anymore. One night at the hotel, it all came to a breaking point. He kissed me hard, almost angry, his mouth crushing mine until I gasped for air. His hands pinned me down, his body claiming me with a desperation that bordered on violence. You're mine, he whispered against my skin. Say it. Say you're mine. I whispered it. Because in that moment, under the weight of his touch, would have said anything. But when it was over, when I lay trembling against the sheets, a sob stuck in my throat, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't passion anymore. It was destruction. And destruction never stays hidden forever. It was supposed to be one more night. Just one more taste of him before I pulled away for good. At least, that's what I told myself as I slipped into the hotel room, the same room that had seen us sin 100 times before. The curtains drawn, the sheets already rumpled, the air thick with the scent of whiskey and something darker, us. He was there, leaning against the headboard, shirt undone, eyes burning like wildfire. You came, he said, like he knew I couldn't resist. And maybe he was right. The second his hands touched me, all my logic dissolved. His mouth found mine, urgent, hungry, bruising. Every kiss was a demand. Every touch was a claim. And I, God help me, I gave in. Because that's the truth of it, lust doesn't care about reason. Lust doesn't care about right or wrong. Lust only knows hunger. But something was different that night. His grip was harder. His words sharper. Between kisses, he whispered things that made my skin crawl. You're not leaving me. You'll never go back to him. If I can't have you, no one will. My body shivered, but not from pleasure this time. A sliver of fear cut through the haze, sobering me like cold water. I tried to laugh it off, to keep things playful. But his eyes didn't soften. His kiss didn't slow. And for the first time, I realized, I wasn't in control anymore. The breaking point came fast. When I pulled away, telling him I had to go, his hand tightened around my wrist, hard enough to leave bruises. You don't get to walk out on me. I froze, heart pounding. Let go. But he didn't. His face twisted with something darker than desire, something closer to desperation. You're mine. Say it again. My breath caught. I could hear the echo of my husband's voice in my head, the quiet steadiness of the man waiting at home, completely unaware of the storm raging inside me. And for the first time in months, I saw the truth. This affair wasn't an escape. It was a prison. I yanked my arm free and stumbled back, my chest heaving. No. I can't do this anymore. His jaw tightened, his eyes narrowing. For a terrifying moment, I thought he might lunge at me, pin me down, force me to stay. But then, slowly, he leaned back, lips curling into a bitter smile. You'll be back, he whispered. You always come back. But this time, I didn't. I walked out of that hotel room trembling, my heart still racing, his words echoing in my ears. I drove home in silence, staring at the road but seeing only his face, his fire, his hunger, his danger. And here I am now, telling you this. Not because I'm proud. Not because I want sympathy. But because I want someone to know the truth before it devours me whole. He's still out there. Still calling. Still waiting. And some nights, when the house is quiet, when my husband sleeps beside me, I catch myself reaching for the phone, aching to answer. Because lust is an addiction. And even when you escape, the craving lingers like a shadow. Broken heart. So if you've followed me through every chapter of this confession, if you felt the burn of betrayal and the sweetness of forbidden desire, do me one favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who understands temptation. Because telling my story isn't just about release, it's about survival. This was my truth. This was my undoing. And maybe, just maybe, it will be my salvation.